so before I forget, I remember what it was I wanted to talk about. I started explaining when I welded up the back of the Monster, because I can't get that bolt out, so I don't have that swivel anymore, so I had to weld it up solid. And I started explaining how when the Monster tilts, it automatically steers in that direction, just the way the front suspension's all set up. So if I go up on a curb and the right wheel goes up, it automatically turns to the right. And I got talking about something else and it totally distracted me. So what I have noticed is now that it's welded solid, I don't have those little springs in the back to absorb that, so the whole scooter leans. And I mentioned how I'm surprised at how much that affects my steering. That's why. Because the Monster actually tilts more, because it tilts instantly actually, because it doesn't have that absorption, to get that bump right away. So it's quite a handful now on a bumpy surface. I don't have a voice today, sorry guys. Wow. So I just wanted to get that out of the way before I forget about it again. That's what I wanted to talk about, because I realized I forgot to finish that thought in the original video where I was talking about it. So, I got my M8 nuts today. Or did I? Okay, when I pulled this out of the mailbox, it was like this. It was folded up and stuffed in the box. So I'm thinking, I didn't think it was mine. I thought it was something for Michelle, some craft item or something. Something that was paper. Because I had two things I was waiting for, and none of them are that thin. So I got home, and I looked and well, it's got my name on it. And according to Amazon, it was my M8 nuts that were supposed to arrive. Oh, they're not in here. It's not open. However, the side is split. So they just kind of came out on their own. They defected. Who knows where they are. So I called Amazon. They don't really have an option for covering this. They don't have an option covering this as far as returns and stuff go. So I went through their list, and the only thing is missing parts. Well, yeah, it's all missing. So they sent me a label to send it back with. Well, what's the point of sending back an empty envelope, right? I don't need a label for that. I can throw that in an envelope myself. So I called them up, and she was really nice about it and everything, took care of it. And I got my refund already, and I've already reordered them. I want them now. I need them now. So unfortunately now it looks like I'm going to have to wait till October 17th to get them. Okay, give me 1 second here. Okay, so regarding my last video regarding Tim Hortons, I've read the first few comments already. Thank you for everybody, all your advice and explanations and everything. As far as the legal part goes, and somebody confirmed, thanks Mark for confirming that the Highway Traffic Act does actually, nope, sorry. I'm looking at the wrong one. Edwin. Thank you for the legal explanation. So he does confirm the Highway Traffic Act does cover the public access roads that are actually private. So as far as I'm aware, I'm a pedestrian, classed as a pedestrian on a scooter, I'm aware of that. However, I see a loophole, sort of, kinda, because the police told me that if there are no sidewalks, or I'm allowed to drive on the road if there are no sidewalks. I'm supposed to be on the sidewalk, but if I'm on the road, I have to be facing traffic. So, there's no sidewalks in the drive-thru, and I can't drive through the drive-thru backwards. So I'm seeing that as a loophole, and everybody else, everything that everybody's saying, as far as liability goes, I'm already disabled. If somebody hits me, I'm not going to lose my income I don't have to pay for hospital stay. I don't have to pay for medication or all this. I can't see getting hurt that bad in a drive-through anyways, unless somebody falls asleep and slams the gas pedal down or something, or has some kind of medical issue. That I can understand. But as far as liability goes, like, I'm not going to sue somebody for hitting me. You know, the only thing that's really going to happen that would matter to me is the monster gets damaged, right? And I'm about to throw it in a river anyways. But, you know, they can't sue me. Well, they can, but I'm on ODSP, so they won't get anything out of me, right? So I don't even worry about stuff like that. If I accidentally hit somebody else, then I'm going to feel real bad about it, because that'll be my fault, and I know I'm responsible, right? Like that's one of the reasons why I stopped going into the wheelchair ramp, because even, well, with the ES950, it's a smaller scooter, it's narrower, and that's the other thing about the stalls for the disabled parking, is they're not extra wide, they're like normal stalls. So if somebody has a lift on the side of their van, they can't even use that unless they're in the very end, and then they're opening up into a traffic area where cars go through, right? So the cars are close together as it is, and I'm worried about taking off somebody's mirror to begin with, and in order to turn, I have a sharp turn to get around the front of that vehicle onto this wheelchair ramp that's too narrow in my opinion to begin with, but if they're parked farther over, I can't go up on the curb with the ES950. It won't do that. The monster struggles, and that's, I think, what scraped off all my red accents on the outside of my rims, because the low profile tires, if I had a curb sideways, like on an angle, that rim always hits the cement first before the tire does. So that's why, because I was so worried about hitting a vehicle, you know, scraping somebody's car. I always had the argument, you know, if that happens, it's your fault, you're parked on the wheelchair ramp, right? But at the same time, I don't want that hassle. I don't want to be faced with that, because I'm going to feel bad for doing it to begin with. And, you know, just trying to get between the vehicles without taking off the mirror, especially, like, the ES950 is not bad, but the Monster, it's wider, so, you know, I need more space for it. But the roll bars, they'll take somebody's mirror off, no problem, if I'm not careful and watching what I'm doing. And, you know, I can't fault them for that. Let's say, you know, the two vehicles parked together, side by side, and they're not blocking the wheelchair ramp. They're doing nothing wrong. It's just the fact that these stalls are so narrow, it's like normal parking spots. So I think they tried to fit in, you know, more vehicles so they can, because I think, I don't know this, I think it's a percentage, a certain percentage of your parking spaces have to be disabled parking. I kind of, sort of, almost remember hearing that at one time. There's no set number that you have to have, but if, let's say, you have 10 parking spots, you need 3, or if you have 100 parking spots, you need 30, something like that. It's a percentage. That's my understanding of it anyway. So I think they just, you know, they didn't have room for all the ones they needed, so they just made them narrower to fit them in. That's my guess. So basically what's going to happen is, I didn't even go to Timmy's today. I made my own coffee. I didn't bother with it. The truth is, I'll probably just stop going. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to say anything. There will be the occasional time when I go through the drive-thru, and if they say something, then I'll ask for, you know, a conversation with the manager. And if I get pissed off, that's when, you know, I'm going to react. But the truth is, I probably won't do anything. I'll probably call, you know, complaining about it, because like I say, it's not just me that's in danger with that, with trying to get up that wheelchair ramp, because there's people who are like severely disabled, not like me. I can walk, I can park in a normal parking spot and walk in, but that causes other issues, because unless I park at the front of the stall where people can see me, they're coming up and they see an empty stall and they start to pull in, they see my scooter sitting there, they get pissed off, right? I don't want that. So I don't even like parking in a normal stall. But for other people who can't walk, that's where my concern is, because that is a safety issue for them, and that is a liability for Tim Hortons. But like I say, the truth is, I probably won't do anything. I just get angry. I say stupid things. I do stupid things. The next day, I think, I wish I hadn't said that. So it depends on how our conversation goes. And like I say, I imagined our conversation might not even go that way. She might be understanding and maybe the message about their accessibility hasn't been relayed to her. I don't know. That's always a possibility too. It depends on how our conversation goes. But for the most part, for now, I'm just gonna not go as often. And I don't know. Like I say, I took my own with me today because I wanted to go for a nice tour today. It's a really nice day today. I don't even need my sweater. It's a really nice day today. It's Wednesday. Friday is supposed to be 7 lonely degrees. That's the day we're supposed to get snow. So I want to enjoy. Just enjoy. Nothing else. And I did. And I didn't sleep really crap last night. I kept waking up and I was having a hard time getting back to sleep. And when I try to sleep for a long time, that's when my restless leg starts up, and that keeps me awake. So it was kind of a rough night. And then I woke up to one of our alarms going off. Turns out Ken was testing it. So it was about 8 o'clock this morning. I'm not even sure if he woke me up. He apologized for waking me up or making me freak out or something. I said, well, I wasn't really concerned because I knew somebody was down here. And it stopped and went beep. So I kind of figured, it was somebody playing with it. But I'm not even sure if it woke me up or not. I'm not even sure if I was awake at that point. Because, like I say, I was half zombified all night. So I don't even know when I was sleeping and when I was awake. It was a crazy, crazy night. And I don't know why. So, up early today. I wanted to go for a tour, and then I did plan to put my fender on today. But now I just don't feel like it. I don't know. I'm all hyped up now. And I'm not sure why. It's a beautiful day. It's just beautiful. Not what I like, because I like, 30 degrees plus. But as far as, what's coming, this is nice. It's beautiful. And there's no clouds in the sky. It's all sun today. It's very enjoyable. I'm sweating now. Holy smokes. But I came home. I had to get something for Ken. And I had to use the washroom. And I went back out again. I went and grabbed my mail. And got some groceries. And I just got back the second time. And I noticed all these emails coming in. All comments on that's the other thing I wanted to say too. Like I said before, if they had told me right away that they didn't want me going through the drive-thru, that would have been a completely different story. Like I said that in the last video. It's the fact that I've been doing it for 2.5 years, and then all of a sudden it's a problem. When I started doing it, they told me. I even asked them. I went through first, and then when I got to the window, I asked them if that was a problem. They told me as long as I trip their sensors, they have to serve me. So I still think somebody said something. Somebody else in the drive-thru, non-employee customer, expressed their concern for my safety, which really drives me nuts. Because that's, everybody does things that are dangerous. Everybody's in control of their own lives. And that's part of what's wrong with this world today. Everybody's trying to control what everybody else is doing, right? And it's just, I am me. I understand the risks that I take when I do what I do. You know, like I say, the drive-through is less dangerous to me than being out on, even on the sidewalk, which for reasons that I've explained already. It's just, you know, it's to me, it's got nothing to do with safety. To me, it's all a liability, right? And if they're worried that if something happens, I'm going to sue Tim Hortons, I'm not like that. If somebody hits me, like I said before, that's not on Tim Hortons, that's on the person that hit me. I am no more likely to sue Tim Hortons for that than I would to sue the town for somebody backing into me on the sidewalk. I'm not going to sue the town because the sidewalk's there, right? I don't even understand how that is even a possibility. I know it happens. Somebody gets hurt. Oh, somebody's got to be held responsible. It's just, I'm not like that. I've been in car accidents where, you know, it's like, well, they don't have a lot of money. I know what it's like to have a claim on your insurance, and your insurance goes up. And, you know, I had damage to my car, nothing major. They fixed it. They wanted me to go to their own auto shop. I didn't like that idea. But they paid for the repairs, and we didn't go through insurance. And other time I had somebody who was freaked out about it, and I just, you know what? It doesn't bother. I got a dent in my car, so what, right? I'm not worried about it. My favorite one really wasn't my decision. I was delivering pizza. It was my very last delivery. I was quitting. My very last delivery. I wanted to take it because it was in a rich neighborhood. They always give good tips. And it was a cul-de-sac. It was right at the end of the street. And it was a double-wide driveway. One side of the driveway was all cars. It was all empty on the other side. Drove right up to the house. Got out of my car, walking towards the road. There was nobody there. Got in the car, put my seatbelt on, backed out of the driveway, and BAM! I hit something. I had no idea what I hit because there was nothing there when I got in my car. And I looked, and there was a car behind me. So I hit my back bumper, corner bumper, because I was backing out and I was turning. So I hit the back bumper, corner of the bumper, on the driver's door, and then it just kind of scraped over to the passenger door, to the back door. So they couldn't even open their driver's door. So I'm freaked out because I know, it's my fault. I just backed into somebody. I did a lot of damage. So police got there. I'm shaking. That was my first actual reported accident. Yeah, I'm shaking because I didn't know what to expect because I know I'm at fault, right? So the policeman's getting our statements and everything, and they talked to them, and he talked to me next, and he asked me what happened. I said, I just delivered a pizza here, and I said, when I got in my car, they weren't parked there, and he interrupts me. He said, parked? He looks over at the other person, you were parked? And I said, yeah, I park here all the time. And all of a sudden, everything changed. And the cop did not, they parked in the middle of the cul-de-sac, okay? Not on the side of the road, right in the middle. So if you come down the street, you're actually going around them as you're going on the loop. Well, the cop didn't like that. So basically what it came down to is he told them, he says, well, if you don't want to be charged for, he had all these charges, I can't remember what all they were. But he says, if you don't want to be charged, he says, then you take care of your damage, you take care of his damage. And he looks, alright, you take care of your damage. And he looks over at me, and you take care of your damage. Kind of like, if that's what you want to do. I was all for that. So it never went to insurance. I had damage to my car after that. The rear quarter panel was dented, taillight was smashed, and the plastic end cap on the steel bumper, it actually had a real steel bumper back then. And that was there until, you know, I no longer had that car. I never fixed it. But I did pretty good because I had less damage than them. Like I said, they couldn't even open their driver's door. That's how hard I hit them. So that freaked me out. But the cop was obviously on my side on that one, even though it was, I consider it my fault. But, you know, it worked out well. So sort of liability, I don't worry about it. I don't. If somebody does something, that's on them. If I do something, it's on me. It's not where we are. Nobody who owns the property or in it, whatever, they're not. That's how it should be everywhere. And you know, that's how I think of things. So I'm not a person that goes around looking for someone to sue. You know, I know people like that, and it's pathetic. But I'm not. And I'm not worried, like I say, I'm not worried about being sued because I'm on ODSP. I don't have anything. You want the monster? Go ahead, take it. They can't take my income, so I don't worry about it. And if I get injured, I get injured. Like I say, as soon as I walk out my door, I'm at risk. I have to watch everything. I don't know what else to say about that. I think I've made my point. Thank you everybody for your suggestions and explanations and that. And confirmation what I figured with the Highway Traffic Act does actually apply to drive-thrus. But like I say, I'm really not gonna make a big deal about it, but it saddens me. It takes away another one of my pleasures, you know. I think that's what upset me more than anything else. At a time where my depression's already starting, it just kind of, you know, I needed this nice day today. It really made a big difference. As you can tell, I'm happy today. I'm in a good mood. I really, really enjoyed being out. So, like I say, it just depends on what happens. So, I didn't plan on talking about all that. I wanted to, you know, show the nuts that I didn't get. And I wasn't sure what else to talk about, but then, you know, before I started getting all these emails with the comments from you guys, so appreciate that, thank you. So, I don't know what else to say. So I guess that's it.